What is up? I am back with another video, and yeah, I'm getting right into it, man. I'm really getting tired of PlayStation this generation. It is my favorite brand when it comes to games, but man, I'm really not feeling this remake shit of the games from the PlayStation 4 era over into the PlayStation 5 era. I understand we have newer games coming out too, but I'm looking at Horizon Zero Dawn already. I think back in February of last year, we got a 60 frames per second patch. So keep in mind the game already runs in 60 frames per second, already in 4K. You know, I mean, what are we going to expect with this new one? Is it going to run 120 frames per second? In 4K with the so-called remake. And charging $70 for it. I made a pass for the Last of Us Part One remake, and the only reason why I made a pass for that is because I didn't even spend the full $70 on it. But like, this is what we gonna be doing. We just gonna be dwelling on the success from the PlayStation 4 era on the PC, because like I feel like that's where this is going. Shout out to the podcast I'm on, Legendary Duo. Shout out to Penn. He made a good point on the podcast. He said, PlayStation is really just making it a lot more easier, to just get a PC at this point. And I personally don't have an issue with PlayStation games going on the PC, but it seems like that's the direction PlayStation is going in. They're going to probably be doing stuff day and day, in which that's not an issue neither, because I'm a console fan first. I'm going to be on consoles before I go on the PC platform. That's just how I always roll, to be honest. But what I'm not liking is like re-releases of games from the from the past gen. Like I feel like the only way this can only get across to Jim is to basically not buy the shit, and I think a lot of people kind of voiced that will with the Last of Us remake, quote unquote, because the sales did. I don't think it met their quota. In the UK. Hell, I think Saints Row outdid that in sales from what I read in that article. But man, I'm not liking this, dude. I'm not liking, Horizon Forbidden, or not Horizon Forbidden West, but Horizon Zero Dawn, remastered. And I feel like a lot of this, and I hate to keep talking on this topic. I know I grilled Jim Ryan. I know I done said a lot of stuff already. I still feel like a lot of this is happening too because of the Microsoft Activision acquisition, which I personally don't care about neither. Because I mean, if Microsoft get it, they get it. They gonna have Call of Duty. That's cool. I mean, the only thing he missing out on is 300 million. I mean, I think they can make that up. They have Destiny 2 now. So whoever plays Destiny 2 on different platforms, including PlayStation, on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, hell, I mean, can't say Stadia because Stadia dead now. Well, it's going to be dead soon, but people, they're going to make percentages off of that. They can make up easily for that, whatever Bungie comes out with the acquisition from Bungie. So I don't know, man. I'm not liking I'm not liking this, and like at this point, like man, like I'm starting to think like I think I'll just bear off with a PlayStation 4 Pro, last generation. Like I know a lot of Sony fanboys, or quote unquote blind loyalists are gonna come and try and challenge me and say, oh you just Xbox, somebody you just showing sympathy for Xbox and stuff or PlayStation. I'm like, no, it ain't about that. It's me being a fan that's frustrated. I invested money into this console. I have two PS5 consoles, and I'm playing, and I'm gonna be honest in saying this. I mean, even though I do enjoy playing older titles and stuff on there, and other games, I don't, in third party titles, I don't use that. I don't weaponize the console war argument over here. What I'm saying is that if I wanted to play Horizon Zero Dawn, in 4K and 60 frames per second, because I guarantee you that's not going to be in 120 frames per second. No way in hell. You know, I'm probably just going to be paying the extra $10 for haptics and stuff if I was to purchase it. I mean, what else? What am I getting out of this? I'm not even a big fan of Horizon, and the thing is, this isn't a Horizon video, a Horizon bashing video. It's just like I think the game is good. A lot of people like it. I'm just not a big fan of it. But the thing is that why are people, why are you doing this? Why are you, relaunching this for the, PlayStation 5? Because I guarantee you they're gonna be charging $70 for that. That's my grievance with it. And like, as a fan, I have to be, outspoken on this. I can't, I can't let, PlayStation get away with this. And I feel like the best way to do it, is just not support it. Just don't buy it. Give it the same treatment like The Last of Us Part 1 remake until Sony really, until Jim realizes that he needs to stop doing this kind of shit. Put that money into something else, like other projects or something like that. Like I said in my last videos, since Jim is all hurt and complaining about, Call of Duty, he need to just probably put some money in and, bring back some old titles. Bring back, introduce a new first person shooter into the series. I would love to play that on the DualSense controller. Instead of playing, Call of Duty every year. I'm okay with Call of Duty going to Xbox because, I mean, even though I did pre-order, Modern Warfare 2 this year, and I still actively enjoy Call of Duty, it's not much of a loss for me, honestly. I mean, it's just, I honestly just play them online with my friends and stuff, and I just play the campaigns. But I feel like Sony could do a lot more, especially like with Killzone and stuff. Man, I remember when you played Killzone 2 and 3, the PS3 controller was like, the DualShock 3 controller was ahead of its time. Like when you would turn valves and stuff, you had to move the DualShock 3 controller. Like that, they could do so much with that and with the DualSense. And they don't even know it. And I feel like, maybe Jim is just lazy and he's just dwelling in on the success of how the PlayStation 4 kicked the Xbox One ass last generation. I mean, maybe it might be that, maybe just that, and he just sitting on stuff. I mean, even if, I look at the shit like competition and boxing. Like, because you want a match don't mean, you can get all comfortable and stuff. You gotta keep working hard. I watched them old boxing tapes and matches on YouTube, and I still got the VHS tapes. I be watching them. I see how Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, them dudes, even Mike Tyson, Ken Norton, all of them, they trained until they almost felt like dying, and until they felt closer to death. Them dudes put in the work, even if they do lose. I hate to make that bad comparison to, make a, corny comparison to boxing, but man, that's how it is. When stuff when stuff happen like that, that means you got to get your shit together. Hell, I even have that same mentality on my YouTube channel. Like, if I see somebody surpass me in subs and stuff, I don't be getting mad and jealous and be on that bitch ass shit. I be like, okay, well, I gotta be looking through no bullshit. I go through my content and I'd be like, okay, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to do this? And on top of it, I work on the podcast too, so that's kind of taking So I'm juggling in between too. I'm juggling between content on two channels. I partially work on another channel. I partially work with Legend on the podcast, and I'm working. I try to put more work in on this channel. And that's just my mentality. Like, that's what PlayStation need to be doing. They need to just say, we need to be congratulating Microsoft for that acquisition and going on about their day. They can make up for that money. PlayStation never needed Call of Duty in the first place. And I feel like, relaunching Horizon Zero Dawn is re-releasing that, especially for $70, because we know that shit gonna be $70. They only making themselves look even more terrible, I feel, personally. And they making themselves look butthurt. And Jim Ryan is making a fool of himself, man. I need to, somebody need to talk to that cat. I don't like Jim, but I mean, at the same time, too, like, somebody need to get him in shape over there. Tell him, like, bro, it ain't that serious. And it don't go that deep. Don't block the acquisition. Don't be releasing, other games. Let's just work on some more games. Let's just do some other stuff. And PlayStation has always been great. They always deliver when it came to creativity and innovating with new games. And, like, that's what's confusing me about it the most, because I feel like in some ways, Jim is kind of, I feel like it's kind of a move where he's trying to mimic Xbox in a lot of ways, and then, like I said, this ain't a console war video, But I mean, you look at the Game Pass ecosystem. You know, you look at the Xbox ecosystem. You look at Game Pass. You look at a lot of remasters over there, and like I said, it's nothing wrong with that. Because none of those are even $70 to begin with. But it seems like that's what Jim is doing, and I'm not feeling that. I mean, I'm not, as a PlayStation fan, I'm not feeling that shit. You know, I'm not. I don't consider myself brand loyal, even though I prefer the PlayStation platform. I mean, in some ways I might be, but I don't really consider myself loyal to the brand. But you know, when I see stuff like this, I'm like, nah, man, just create something new. You know, think of something new to create. You know, just find something better. You know, better. You know, I'm not buying Horizon Zero Dawn this time around, and I shouldn't have been buying the Last of Us Part One remake. The only reason why I did is because I had about $25. I think I don't remember how much I had in Best Buy credit, but I had to use it by the end of the month, and I had, you know, I just spent it on that Last of Us remake. So I didn't get my full 70. But goddamn, man, I can't keep doing this, man. And I can't keep supporting this. If you know they continue to do this, I'm gonna just have to call it out. It ain't gonna stop me from being a PlayStation fan, but I'm definitely gonna be making these videos, airing out my grievances with my favorite company, and you know that's just how it is. When I invest money into these brands, no one can tell me I shouldn't be feeling like this, and I shouldn't have my points of views on, but you know these consoles and stuff because I spent my hard earned money on these consoles. You know, nobody's giving me money for shit. I'm not getting monetized on YouTube or any platform at all. I take my black ass to work like a normal human being and I work hard for it. So, that's all I gotta say. But this is Drex and I am out. Y'all have a great day.